Go.
Home sales ball.
Whatever. Hey friends, Andy and Jim here with the lead team. We're going to do a speed round of what's coming 2024 real estate in Chattanooga. Here we go. So, Jim, where are we going, bro?
That's a great question. It's time to go ahead and get out your crystal ball. Oh, that is not a crystal ball. Just get
Crystal
rid of
ball, spike ball.
No, get rid of it. Okay, thank you. So I always like to position it really in 4 different things. Number 1, where are we right now? How did we get here? Where are we going? And what are you going to do with that? What does that mean to you as a home buyer, home seller, investor in the market? So first of all, where are we? So there were really 2 data points that dominated the news cycle for real estate last year, and we all lived them. You lived them. What were they?
Soaring interest rates.
That's right.
Declining home sales.
That's exactly right. So rates jumped to over 8%, which was their highest level in 20 years. And what that did is that sidelined a lot of home buyers from purchasing and locked a lot of home sellers into their low rates, which caused the second thing, which was declining home sales prices. We reached the lowest level since, get this, 1995. Some of you won't even think I was born in 1995. For the record, I was. But they dropped by 18.7% year over year, which was the largest drop since 2007. And what happened in 2007?
Recession.
So did real estate prices drop dramatically?
No.
But it didn't. They stayed high. So they hit their highest level in 2022 at 407 nationally, and then they jumped to 409 in 2023. In Chattanooga, they were at 305, and they jumped to 315,000 last year in what should have been a recessionary environment. So how did we get here? To answer that, we've got to understand that for the longest period ever historically, we have been riding a bull market in real estate driven by the longest period of low rates we've ever seen. So for over 14 years, rates stayed below 6%, and we rode that bull market. And everybody kept asking, is this the year that the merry-go-round stops? Is this the year that the music stops? And it never did. It kept on going and going until one word.
Inflation.
We all lived it, inflation.
Yeah.
And you saw it in used car prices.
Grocery store, remember that?
Oh, milk.
Milk.
Eggs, yes.
Crazy.
One thing drove inflation, one major thing.
COVID.
Yeah. So what COVID did is it created a fear of a recession. And in response to that fear of a recession, what the Fed decided to do was they decided to inject a lot of cheap cash into the economy to get you and me and him to go out there and buy a lot of stuff. Actually, they didn't stop there. They repurchased assets, so they flooded another $4.7 trillion of cash into the market. It's almost $10 trillion. So, and we went out and we all bought a lot of stuff, right? And so then what that did is that caused supply shortages combined with labor shortages, because people were working virtually or they had enough cash they didn't have to work. And then there were supply chain shortages. Best example is in our bathrooms, none of us had toilet paper. I mean, we were fighting over rolls of toilet paper. So anyway, all of those 3 things combined to drive inflation up to unforeseen levels. Since 1991, the Fed has really successfully kept to their goal of keeping inflation around 2% nationally. And
yeah, it spiked up to 4 a couple
yeah,
times,
they
like
kept
just
it
under 4.
And what happens in 2022?
I think it hit like 4.7.
Yes. And so everybody, the Feds are like, hey, that's just COVID, right? We're gonna get through this. Well, 2023, what happened?
Inflation doubled.
Yes. 2022, it hits 8%, doubles. That's when the Fed freaked out and said, we've got to start doing what?
We got to drive that rate up.
We got to start raising rates. And so then they embarked on one of the longest series of rate hikes, which pushed our interest rates for homes for 30-year mortgages up to over 8%, the highest level that we'd seen in a long time. Yeah. So that's how we got where we are today. So then the question is where are we going now? Really, we enter into 2024 knowing that the Fed has won the battle against inflation so far, and that the rising rates are going to stop. So now we're going to play a really fun game, and we're going to forecast the market. Everybody needs a crystal ball when they're forecasting. So here we go, crystal ball. Okay, yeah, we're done with the crystal ball. But guys, that's really what people are, they're experts, but they're just pulling out the crystal ball. Now, what's interesting is to see how much consensus the experts have and what's the data and logic behind on there. And we've studied that. We've gone into depth with it. Yeah. We've done reams and reams of data that we've looked at, and we're here to just kind of give you a concise summary of what the consensus is and only where we feel the data points are logical and they make a lot of sense. So, recession, are we going to have one or not?
No.
We are not. 100% of economists agree that there is no recession in 2024. Rate cuts, are we going to have them or not?
Yes.
100% agree yes. The debate is, are we going to have 6 or 3? Nobody knows. What is the rate going to be more likely than not? Take a wild guess. It's over 8%. It's been over 8%.
I think it'll get down to 6.
Yes, so 6 to 7% is what the average expected for the second quarter, dropping as low as 5.5% in the last quarter of 2024, which is great news for all of us that are suffering from heavy mortgage payments. So the home sales, are they going to grow or decline?
I think they're going to grow.
They are going to grow. So the prediction is anywhere from 5 to 13% growth, but 100% people, a percent of economists are convinced it's growing. So housing shortages, are we still going to see them, or is housing supply going to grow back
I
up?
think 100% shortage.
He's right. So we just don't have enough homes out there. 2024 is not going to solve that. We're going to maintain that issue. Home prices, this is where all of us who own homes and are buying homes really care about this. Are they going to stay flat, go up, or go down?
I think their first and second quarter, it'll probably stay flat, and then I think as interest rates start to drop, I think the prices will go up.
So there's some debate there, guys. Nobody predicts a drop. It's either kind of flat or a small increase, or this is the worst case, a big increase if we don't manage rates well.
Yeah.
So the hope is that we manage rates well and we drop them slowly, and so home prices stay steady and don't go up too fast.
Right.
If rates drop too quickly, home prices could shoot way back up as people re-enter the market quickly to lock in those low rates. We don't want to see that. Some other data points. Okay, new home builds, up or down?
I'm going to say up.
That's right. Days on market, up or down?
I'm going to say up.
Okay. I agree with him on this one. So, days on market in Chattanooga were 19 in 2022. They went up to 33 in 2023. That's so low, guys. I think we're going to see still around 40, 45 days on market. Still very fast.
You have to average out the quarters.
You do have to average them out. So, bidding wars. Those of you who are home buying, we suffered through bidding wars, right? Up or down?
Well, if interest rates are dropping and buyers' buying power is increasing and there's already a shortage, what do you think?
They're up. They're up.
Yeah.
So, guys, that's the bad news. Potentially good news for sellers. For buyers, it's difficult. You got to really be smart with your agent on how you do that. You guys have some great strategies.
Yeah.
But bidding wars were over 50% even 2023. They were 54% in 2022. So I think they're going to be around that level again. So half the homes out there, you're going to be competing against other buyers. Cash offers, up or down for these home sellers out there?
The money's going to get cheaper.
Fewer people are going to have to use their cash. So a third of home purchases were made with cash last year. I think that's going to drop down to probably 25, 26%.
Yeah.
Sellers, are they going to have to concede on their home sale prices and offer concessions, yes or no?
I'm going to say yes, but not because of market prediction. It's very difficult to price right in a market like this, and I think a lot of them are going to get it wrong, and so I think there's going to be more concessions.
That's right. So home sellers out there, you try to get your home price right, and you sell quickly, and you don't stagnate on the market. Home buyers and home investors out there, what you want to do is you want to work with an agent that's going to take you to those homes that sellers overpriced. Because when sellers overprice their homes and they make a mistake with their agent, the home stagnates, it gets a bad reputation, people wonder what's wrong on it, and then you come in as the saving grace to offer a price that they would not have accepted before. It's cheaper than probably the home is worth, but you're taking advantage of their kind of wanting to get out of that and get out of that bad situation. So that market, because we're going to be dealing with the market, it's going to be hard to predict, hard for people to manage. People are going to make mistakes. That's going to create what's called a market irrationalities, and smart home buyers and smart home investors are going to be able to take advantage of those irrationalities in the market to make wise purchases. So the last thing is, this is near and dear to our heart, is that affordability is going to remain an issue. Home mortgages are going to feel too high, rents are going to feel too high, home prices are going to feel too high. It's hurting everybody. It's not good. And so it's going to take private builders, private investors, private banks and a lot of help from the government to go ahead and start wrangling affordability back into something reasonable for people. And we've got a lot of stuff. We'll do another video on this, but we're working on a lot of affordability issues to try to help people with that, to try to help Chattanooga specifically. Definitely. So our bottom line summary on the market 2024, what would you say?
I would just say if you're ready to buy, you should buy. You need to hop on the ladder now.
Yeah, and I qualify that with if you're ready, right?
Yeah.
No matter how good the market is, never buy if you're not ready. It never pays to get ahead of yourself. The market is always growing over time historically. Home prices are always growing historically in areas like Chattanooga. Now, there are some parts of the country where home prices are dropping because that area is not good economically. Chattanooga, all the trends are positive. There's no reason not to buy a home.
Right.
Homes are going to be more expensive over time in Chattanooga, and you're going to be investing your monthly payment into dropping down your mortgage balance and rising your equity. So I liken it to a ladder that's constantly kind of driving up automatically, and the sooner you actually get on a rung, you'll just ride that up. And the longer you wait, the more you're going to regret having missed out that rung that's not too high.
What we like to say is you marry the price, but you can date your rate.
That's right. That's right. So if you're looking to buy a home, most people are going to be making the mistake of waiting to buy till rates drop. And the minute rates drop and people see that, home prices are going to go back up because there's more competition, more bidding wars. So what you want to do is get in there, buy while home prices are still a little bit more stagnating before they rise up. Get a rate that's too high, and then refinance in the next 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And what I would encourage you to do is negotiate with your lender up front. Say, hey, here's what I know I'm getting a rate that's too high. I know it'll be lower 18, 24 months from now. Would you agree now to do a lower origination fee and give me some concessions so that when I refinance with you, you win, I win, and I get my home at a cheaper price. Home sellers, what advice would you give to them?
Sell purposefully, and if you're going to sell, go ahead and buy because you want to make sure that you're not going to sell and then wait.
You don't want to miss out on the
rates
market.
drop and then prices soar. You want to go ahead and market your home well and strategically capitalize on the appreciation you've gained, and then turn around and go ahead and buy now.
You want to sell with intent to only when you have a great purpose to sell, you need to sell. There's a life circumstance or a need that is precipitating that, then make the move.
Yeah.
But then reposition yourself with intent to get that bigger yard or that lower payment or that better community that you're needing to engage your kids in, or that better school district or whatever it is, to reposition yourself in the market with intent. And I think whenever you're buying, whether you're an investor or a home buyer, there's going to be market irrationalities that you can go ahead and leverage into an opportunity to build wealth and equity for yourself.
Definitely.
So that's our 2024 summary.
Yes.
For what it's worth, take it as seriously as that crystal ball we just played with, and revisit us in 2025 to see how we did.